I'm going to start on my brand new bike. I invested, it's what I call when I spend a lot of stupid money, on a Zwift, randomly. If you don't know what a Zwift is, it's effectively like an online cycling community. The best way I can describe Zwift and how I describe it to a bunch of people is it is a GTA on a bike without all of the GTA things. It feels like you're kind of playing a game, but you're cycling. So when you cycle, your character will move. When you stop cycling, your character will stop. It's a cool bit of kit, and it makes long rides 20 times easier. But enough of that. Welcome back to a Small Athlete podcast with me, Travis Sowles. Today I'm going to be hitting on a few topics. The main one being backyard ultras. So we're going slightly off of High Rocks, although I'll update you over what's been going on for the past few weeks and what's to come. But to begin with, there is a massive Backyard Ultra Last Man Standing, and if you don't know about it within the fitness world at the moment, I don't know where you've been. It's called BPN Backyard Ultra Last Man Standing. So BPN is run by a kind of influencer athlete, Nick Bear. He has built BPN. It's a supplement brand, and that has gone on to create his own Backyard Ultra. Much like my Backyard Ultra through Summit Mentality. What Backyard Ultra is, if you don't know what it is a 4.2 mile loop, so 6.7k on the hour, every hour. Runners will complete this 4.2 mile loop. If you don't complete the 4.2 miles within the hour, you're cut off. That's it. You're eliminated. It keeps on going until the last man or woman is standing. Hence why it's called Last Man Standing. The Backyard Ultra format was created by Laz Lakes. If you don't know who he is, he created the Barkley Marathons. If you don't know what the Barkley Marathons is, have a look at that one, because that is brutal. I think that is one of the hardest, if not the hardest, foot race that anyone can go and complete. That is, I want to say, before I really bodge this up, I think it's 96 hours to complete 5 marathons, but each marathon, the elevation is nuts. I want to say it might be like 5,000 meters of elevation through the middle of Colorado, I think it is. It's a famous one where you have to collect pages from a book. I personally have done the Berkeley Marathons / Barkley Marathons in the UK. That was based in the Cotswolds, not quite the Colorado mountains, but that was 24 hours of pure running, trying to hit 5 marathons. I managed to do 2.5 marathons, and it nearly killed me. That was one of the most brutal races I've ever been a part of. So these guys who take on the Barkley Marathons is a whole nother ball game to me. But back to the Backyard Ultras. So the Backyard Ultra BPN is still going on currently. I think they should be on 68, 69 laps now. So they're called yards. A lap is a yard. And it's all about how many yards can you complete. But you the minute you stop, that's that. If you miss the bell, if you ring the bell, you're out. If you miss the next hour when the hour starts, you're out. If you're still out on course and the next hour starts, you're out. So you have to be on the start line for the hour to begin. The minute it begins, you start running. The closest I've ever been to doing a Backyard Ultra is when I put my own personal one on with Summit Mentality. Last October, I believe it was the 6th. Could be wrong. It should say somewhere in here. My board's there. Oh well. It was the something of October last year. We had 61 runners at the start line. We were meant to have 72, but 12 didn't show up on the day, and that is quite typical apparently for these kind of races. But yeah, we had 61 runners turn up on the day, and it was in South Weald Cricket Club, Essex, and the race started at 10 a.m. and it finished just after 8 a.m. the following day, so we were 22 hours done. That was from a personal experience running the event, actually doing it, putting it all on, a bloody stressful 4 months. It was Simon Mentality at Getahead Backyard Ultra. There was 4 of us in the team, myself, Ted, who is also part of Simon Mentality, and then from Getahead, Chris and Robin. It was a whole other ball game being on the other side of these events. It's just as nerve-wracking, more stressful being on that side of things. We were all up for God knows how many hours, maybe 36 hours. We were up at 5 a.m. the day of. Me and Ted were setting up the whole cricket club, getting the gazebos ready, which ended up flying away due to Storm Amy. And then it was just torrential rain and wind due to this storm for the whole day and the night. If you haven't seen it, give Summit Mentality a search into YouTube. We have our own YouTube account which has got 2 documentaries on there. It's got the Summit Mentality, which was us when we done the Snow 24, and then it's also got our most recent documentary, which is the Backyard Ultra. And you get a feel for how we kind of put the event on and then how the runners felt during the event. So you get both sides. You get to know how to put on these events, because they're not easy. Me and Ted have learned so much from putting on this event. And you learn how the runners kind of feel and how they felt doing it all through a massive storm. But that being said, this year, it goes again, the Summit Mentality Backyard Ultra, on the 18th of September, same place, Southwood Cricket Club, same start time. The record is 22 laps done by a lad called Lewis. So if anyone fancies beating him, he will be returning for our Backyard Ultra. So it'll be a good little battle. We've got some good names coming along to try and get that course record and get the win. So if you have watched the BPM Backyard Ultra and you fancy jumping in to our Backyard Ultra, drop me a message, drop a comment on the video. I'll ping through the link. I'll attach a link to this video as well. Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, it'll all be attached. But let's talk about now training over the past couple of weeks. I think it's been a solid week and a half since I've actually filmed, maybe 2 weeks since I've filmed the one with Callum. So it's been a little bit of time to catch up on. So we are currently Monday, the 13th of April, and I have been away for the past week. For those that follow me on Instagram, you will have seen that I've been at Ollie Russell's, aka the Doghouse is what he calls it. I've been at his training for the last week, and when you train with someone who trains as hard as Ollie and at the intensity of Ollie, you learn a lot. You learn a lot about training. Ollie is a fantastic coach. He's coached me now for the past year. He's an unbelievable coach and an unbelievable athlete. So when you're training alongside someone like that, you learn a lot about the training that you're doing. You learn a lot about how he trains as an athlete and how you can push as an athlete as well. Since being within High Rocks for the first year, it was really cool. I was working in the gym. I was doing a lot of High Rocks sessions where I would join in with classes. But since stepping away from working in a gym, it's been a lot more solitary, a lot more lonely. Hence the Zwift in my garage. That's just how training has been lately. It's been very, not slow. It's still been high, a lot of intensity, but doing that intensity by yourself, it's difficult. It's very, very hard. So going to stay at Ollie's for the past week has been a great mix of environment, and it's good to train alongside someone who shares the same goals as you. Next season, myself and Ollie, we're going to jump in as a partnership, so it's all about trying to get the points for the double system. Myself, I'm going to go more streamlined within the doubles and the relay still. The solo is going to be something that I might jump on later on in the year. But for me, it's all about the doubles, just because I like the team aspect. I like how how much higher in intensity it is, and I see myself with my strengths and weaknesses suiting the doubles a lot more. So that's the way that I'm going to go as an athlete. But yeah, training with Ollie. Ollie has now produced a 57 pro solo. He's done a 49-minute pro doubles with Charlie Bottrell. Those two as a partnership is unbelievable. So training with someone who's hit those times you quickly realise how he's hit those times or what he's doing to get those times. Over the last week, I think we clocked just shy of 20 hours of training. And in terms of how we trained last week, I'll give you a quick run through of how the days were kind of structured. So, started on Monday, travelled up to Ollie. That was a easy run in the morning, and then in the evening it was a strength session with a finisher. Every strength session that I do, well, the majority, that I do three strength sessions a week. 2 of them will have a finisher in, and the finisher is 15 to 20 minutes long. This one was a little bit longer, but it had a decent amount of rest. So the strength I'd done was bot squats into broad jumps, so I'm working on that power. Then it was Pendlay rows, so working on the pull movement. Then the finisher was 4 rounds, so it was 2 minutes of row, 2 minutes of sled push or farmer's carries, 2 minute row, 2 minute rest, 4 rounds. So I swapped the push and the farmers over each round, and then I finished with 10 lots of 3 rounds of ab wheel. So just to work the core, the posterior chain in there. That's a typical strength session for me. That was all on the Monday. So following on to the Tuesday, it was then a track session in the morning. I've recently jumped in with a running coach, Tom. He is quality. He's nailed down what he thinks Hyrox is running wise. A lot of people are now coming to terms with it's a running sport with the strength aspect involved. So for me personally, the way that I'm going to get to the next level that I want to get to, and I think a lot of people will probably see the same way within their training, is having a running coach and a strength and conditioning coach. That's the way that I'm kind of going about things now, is I want to increase my running, build up my VO2 and my lactate threshold within running, get quicker within the 5 and the 10k to really translate into the doubles racing. So yeah, Tom is helping me out with all of my run sessions, which is wicked. So I had that in the morning, had a running intervals on the track in the morning, and then in the evening, I believe it was an easy bike from what I can remember. Let me double check. But then on the Wednesday as well, it was then into a long bike in the morning. I jumped in with Ollie's cycling club. That was my second ever group ride, which was wicked. So it was cool to kind of jump in with those guys. But going back to Tuesday. Tuesday was track session in the morning. Then I went into a threshold row session. And then it was the easy bike for an hour and a half. So it's a triple day on Tuesday. Triple Tuesdays is the way that we go now. But yeah, on the Wednesday, we then had the cycle in the morning. It was about a 2.5 hour ride. We covered 70-ish K. I think it was a little bit more than that. And then I ended up with a flat tyre in this group ride right at the end, literally like a kilometre from the end. It's like typical that it's me. But yeah, we had that in the morning, which was wicked, and then in the evening we went back to the gym and we had a pure strength this time, no finisher. But we did do some doubles work on the sled pull, which was cool. So again, it's good to train with someone who's going to be the partnership. You're kind of building that relationship and knowing how you're going to work these stations in. So for anyone who hasn't done that yet with their partner, definitely look at just doing the small movements. So we done 4 lengths of sled pull with a 90 seconds rest, 4 rounds. So that's just something to give you an idea of what we kind of do to help with our transitions and help with all the other little bits as well. And then on Thursday, felt a bit battered. So literally just a 40-minute easy run. That was it. Was joined with Ollie's brother Jamie, and then Paul Shrives. Shout out. One of the best judges in Hyrox. He's a good lad. Yeah, we had that as well. And then Friday was back to the gym for more strength with a finisher, and then jumped on the bike again for 2 hours with Ollie. A lot of cycling, which was nice. It was, for anyone who lives in the UK and knows, it was a decent week. We're starting to get a bit more sunshine, a bit more warmth, so it's nice. Saturday then, we had, I then had some threshold efforts in the running, and then we also went to the gym again for Ollie's coaching lot who came along to HX1, done a good little session with everyone, Hyros based session, so that was wicked as well. And then on the Sunday, Ollie had a 10k race in Drayton Manor. I jumped in, done an easy run for that 10k, just go get my medal, and then after that had 60 minutes easy on the ergs. So from what you kind of see, it's a balanced week with easy and hard days. The hard days are hard, the easy days are easy. That's just the way that training goes now. But leading into this week, I'm now tapering down because we've got a last minute race Saturday night in Warsaw. Warsaw is one of the majors, so Ollie was heading out there, but he's doing a pro solo on the Friday, and then we are jumping into a pro doubles on the Saturday evening. So I'm literally doing like an out and back job. That's just the way travelling seems to go at these points. I'll see none of Warsaw. I will literally land on the Friday night, sleep, wake up, do the race, sleep, fly home Sunday morning early. That's that. That's how it all rolls. But this is now the level that we're at. It's all the point system within Hyrox, so it would just be cool to go get some points on the board, see how we fare up as doubles, and go from there really. But that is training for last week. What we're now looking for in the future is just hitting more of these double races, and then from that I want to start hitting more of the relays. We've got some races that we're targeting. We're coming more, we're getting closer towards Worlds now. So Worlds is the 20th of June for me, pro doubles with Jamie George, also my birthday. So how else would you want to spend your birthday in Stockholm running a Hyrox, you know? So yeah, that's where it's all at the moment. The build towards Worlds is on, but we've still got some races that we're going to hit up until then. So it's all guns blazing. And after Worlds, still evaluating what I want to do next. I like doing some sort of challenge that's different within the summer, but how much is that going to like wreck my body leading into the next season? It feels like there's no stopping now. But that is how everything's kind of faring up at the moment. Onto the Zwift. Let's talk about that for a minute. What's going on with this bike? So I bought the bike because I was in the gym on a C2 bike all the time. For those who want to know what the difference is between a Zwift and a C2 is more quad dominant, unless you kind of got clip-ins, because it's an erg and it's fan based. I feel like there's a heavier resistance on that, whereas the Zwift bike feels more like a road bike, so it feels like you're actually out on the roads. The thing with the Zwift is the resistance is all done for you, so if you plug into the system that you want to hold 200 watts, it will set it so you will be holding 200 watts no matter what your RPM is. If you hold a higher RPM is rounds per minute, so the faster that you pedal, it will then hold the specific amount of power for you to hit those 200 watts. If you pedal slower, you can imagine you're kind of like pressing into the floor more to get those 200 watts. But then if you link it into the actual systems, there's so many out there that you can use, you've then got that video game feel. It works as if you're going to go uphill, you see the incline, you start feeling the incline through the bike, which is just wicked because it makes you feel like you're out on the road. A lot of people use Zwift during the winter. I literally bought it as the weather started getting nice. So it's either I go outside, hit the real hills with a little bit of wind, or I sit in here, hit virtual hills. I'm going to see how I feel on days, but it just makes life a lot easier for a two-hour ride where I can just set up my laptop, set up my like table of snacks without feeling awkward in a gym, keep on like refilling with carb powder. So there's positive and negatives to both indoors, outdoor cycling, but that's kind of where I was at with buying a Zwift. Is I've seen a lot of people use them. It's big in the triathlon world, obviously, where there's so much cycling going on, Ironman world. So I thought, why not jump in? It's a Facebook Marketplace buy, second hand, and it works. So don't shoot it down. But this has been a Small Athlete podcast with Travis Howes. If there's any topics you want me to hit on, anything or anyone you feel like you would like to see on the podcast, again, comment, like, subscribe. And I'll see you in the next episode.